So recharge.
This is the SiriusXM Sports Update. It was looking good for Notre Dame. A 7-zip lead after the first quarter. Then Ohio State asserted its dominance.
Will Howard in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Howard back to throw. Sets up. Looks all over. Takes off running. Now throws into the end zone. Wide open. And it's Judkins with a catch for the score. Will Howard started to run right up the middle, but he finds Quinshon Judkins on a 6-yard TD pass play.
Second and 3 TDs, Judkins would score. Calling the Learfield Ohio State Radio Network is heard on SiriusXM. Buckeyes scored 31 unanswered points. The championship to Ohio State, 34-23 over the Irish. Recap at SiriusXM College Sports Radio 84. NFL media's Ian Rappaport posted Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn has a second interview today with the Jets, who don't want him to leave the building. NBA Warriors' most lopsided home defeat in 40 years. Celtics on top 125-88. CJ McCollum 45 points. Pelicans in OT beat the Jazz 123-119. Bulls 112, Clippers 99. NBA best Cavs 118-92 over the Suns. Knicks 119, Hawks 110, Grizzlies top the T-Wolves 108-106. Aussie Open, Novak Djokovic eliminated Carlos Alcaraz in 4 sets. NHL, the Oilers' Connor McDavid suspended 3 games. He'll miss tonight's game against Alex Ovechkin and the Caps. Also suspended 3 games, the Canucks' Tyler Myers. Utah surprised the Jets 5-2, leads 5 Lightning 3, Pens 5-1 over the Kings. Islanders beat the Jackets 3-1. Canes in OT 4-3 over the Blackhawks. The Kraken defeated the Sabres 6-4. Blues in a shootout 5-4 over Vegas. Wild 3, the Avalanche 1. From the SiriusXM newsroom, this is Bob Gallerstein.
If it's happening in...
Appreciate that, Bob. Thank you, Bob. My cheesy intro, man. My intro is so cheesy. So listen, I'm doing this today because I woke up with a revelation. A revelation. And I realized I can't go to the gym at night no more. That shit throws me into a coma and throws my whole morning off. So I'm gonna go to the gym around noon, between noon and 2. I gotta tell Lydia don't schedule no consultations for me during that time. What's going on, Juan? I said, what's going on, Juan? You ain't hear me, you dummy? Fucking shit idiot. All right, so check this out. So check this out. You're gonna hear me say this on what's going on, Freeman? Freemason. So you're gonna hear me say this a lot. As a 56-year-old man, I am seeing a lot of things that honestly I didn't see before. Honestly, I'm seeing a lot of things that I didn't see before. Putting you guys up on a lot of game. There's an absolute lot of there's a lot of individuals that's running around here with these perspectives and narratives that life is a game and life is a joke. People, we all went to school to have a better life. Nobody went to school to be the best. You know, you got these individuals talking about something, yo, I got this thunder dick. Yo, I can put down some dick. I can put down some dick. Okay. They ain't porn stars. You know, you see Ron Jeremy. Remember Ron Jeremy? That's the only porn star named guy I know. Ron Jeremy. They don't want to be a Ron Jeremy. They just run around here in their regular life saying that they put down a lot of dick. You got like I say all the time, if you line up 100 women, all 100 of them would claim that their pussy is some magical pussy, is different from every other pussy. All these narratives about life, you just see all these individuals, and it's amazing how when these people incorporate this crazy narrative, they miss the point. They really don't understand life. It is amazing. It really is. It is truly amazing to be here at 56 and see just how many people are cashing a lot of checks now that they should have cashed when they were younger, and they ain't got no damn money in the bank. We're going to talk about that. These individuals ain't got no money in the bank. I'm going to show y'all something. I'm real cheesy at setting this up. Other guys know how to be fluent with it, but I'm cheesy. I'm cheesy. I want y'all to look at this.
My house. You have to get out my house.
I want to say thank you. I am so moved and touched by your response to my last video and to my videos. Thank you so much, and welcome to new subscribers.
This is a 70-year-old nurse. A nurse. This is a 70-year-old nurse that can't afford to live, so she lives in her car. That's a nurse. And you got a lot of these women walking around here claiming that they're boss babes. They're claiming all these things. And they don't see the big picture. This is a nurse who now lives in her car.
That was like 1,030. And it's because of all of you.
Oh.
Thank you. For another minute goes by, I wanted to thank you so much. Well, the RTRs are over. And I'm here at my favorite spot again.
This is her favorite spot.
And there's a lot of people here. Actually, I'm in the dog park.
Hold on.
Yeah, I like
Let me
it.
do this.
Like I said before, it has certain benefits and amenities. So, anyway, let's get to the video today. The why of why I'm living in my car. So first, I want to say thank you so much for your interest in my life and why I'm doing this.
Yeah, we want to know.
This site has
Really?
36,000 plus remote jobs that pay six figures, and the best part is that you can apply.
Doing this. I've spoken about it a little bit in older videos, but I'll talk about it more now. I had been thinking about this for a while. Rents after 2020, as you know, they skyrocketed. And when I retired in 2019. And yes, I'm 70. I'm retired. My field of work, I worked my whole life. Most of my life, not my whole life, of course, but most of it. In computer field, in tech, and then in library science. My last few jobs were as a librarian, a digital librarian, and then a librarian in a public library. So, yep, I'm one of those. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. So, yeah, I always made a good income, and I was very grateful for that. But I didn't save enough, apparently, obviously. And it's, I do take some personal responsibility for my situation, but some of it, and all of us.
She said at 70 years old, she takes some responsibility for her situation. She says she takes some responsibility for the fact that she lives in a car. She takes some responsibility for it. That is definitely a woman. Let me tell you guys this. I was talking to my ex-girlfriend the other day, and her and I were talking, and I told her, nobody cares about your life. I told y'all this the other day. I told y'all the talk we had. Nobody cares about your life. As men, we come to that reality we come to that reality a lot sooner than later. Women don't come to that reality. I think there's a lot of women that go through their entire life that don't come up to with the realization and the understanding that nobody cares about you. Nobody gives 2 cents about you. I think that once again, there are a lot of women that go through their entire life and not realize that. And a man realizes that when he goes to court. A man before a man is out of their 20s, they understand this perspective. A woman will go through their entire life. That woman right there is 70 years old and said, I take responsibility for some of it. Now, I want to be clear about the situation. Once again, she's homeless. She was a registered nurse, and then she was amongst other things, like she said, a librarian and all this stuff. And she said, but she didn't save. So you guys are navigating yourself around in your youthful age, and you are allowing a lot of women to make the claim that they got you. So when they reach 50 and 60 years old, part of their retirement, are you saying part of their retirement is going to be that they got you? Got you is not a retirement. A boss bee is not a retirement. Being a bitch is not a retirement. There's no retirement in that. It is amazing. It really is. Listen, I'm 56. I remember 15 years ago when individuals was 70 and 80. 60 and 70 rather. 50 and 60. What the heck? 50 and 60. Going down to Social Security. And Social Security saying that they only getting $800 a month. 15 years ago. 15 years ago. Getting $800 a month in Social Security. 15 years ago. And what do you think and how do you think those people are living today? They're not. They're not living. People, I'm trying to tell you, I look back on my life. I look back on my life and I say to myself, wow, it's amazing. I am thankful. I am grateful that I actually overshot. I overshot. I did more for my life than I could have done. I did more for my life by the time I was 35 than I could have done for the rest of my life. I've done more for my life. Let me say it better this way. I secured my life at 35. I secured my life at 35. The way my life is right now, it don't matter what happened. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And once again, 15 years ago, there were individuals that was 50 and 60 and retiring, getting $800 a month. And you guys are witnessing, you guys are seeing, you guys are navigating yourself around social media, and you're seeing all these women making all these claims that they are boss bees, they bad bees, a man got to do this for me, I deserve. I have never heard the word I deserve in a month of my life now than I've heard in my entire life. I have never heard women say I deserve. Now, you can hear a woman say I deserve. In 30 days, you can hear women say I deserve 1,000 times. I have never heard I deserve from a woman like I hear now in my life. I have never heard it. I've never heard it. Let me tell you something. Life don't give two fucks on what you think you deserve. Life don't give a on what you think you deserve. Life is not giving you nothing. 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 Listen, I spoke to my ex-girlfriend today. And I spoke to my ex-girlfriend today, and exactly. I spoke to my ex-girlfriend today, and I called her up, and she didn't answer the phone. Then she called me back about 10 minutes later, but she kind of sounded like, not frantic, but she didn't sound like herself. And she was like, Donald Trump signed in the office that we can't work from home no more, blah, 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 blah. And she just didn't sound like herself. And I was like, okay, hey, listen, hey, I'll talk to you later. Here's a woman that has a dog, and I wish I was closer to her. I would help her. She deserves my help. But people, I just don't see women today understanding that life is not going to be so grateful for you when you get older. Life is going to bust your ass when you get older. Like I look at my mom, my aunt. I look at women that was in the generation before me, and I feel sorry for them, because you know why? There isn't a woman in my family equipped. When I looked at this video, and this woman said, before 2019, the market changed after 2019. I was like, oh snap, that's right. And I remember individuals that in my family, women that are in my family, aunts, uncles, and my mom went down to Social Security and got retirement, and nobody seen a substantial amount. I'm looking at this video, and I'm like, there isn't one woman that except my uncle's wife, the one he married. My uncle married a woman that became my aunt. She was, retired. She was working for the airlines all her life, retired. She get to fly free. Her and my uncle get to fly free for the rest of their life. I don't know anybody else, no other woman in my family like that. I don't.
It's out of our control. World events have allowed, greed to, in some cases, to take over, or in some cases, rents had to be raised because I don't know why. I'm not going to get into that, whether it was greed or need or whatever, but after 2020, what was $800 went to $16 and $2,000 a month. I can't do it. I'm priced out. So I tried, I floated along. You saw, and thank you for watching my videos when living in Tucson and in one apartment after another. You could probably, I think I was a nomad then too. I've always been a nomad in my mind. It was getting so, but then financial circumstances, I was moving every year. And that's costly too, because you got to pay security deposits, moving expenses every year. So eventually, and I was chasing rents, and what happened, I had to move, and I do not judge anybody, okay? I had to move from locations that I felt more comfortable to locations that I didn't, to get lower rent. And even then the rents were near $1,000, and they're not that safe in neighborhoods. And let me just add that everyone should be able to have a safe place to live. But maybe in these scary times, that's not
That woman just said everyone deserves a safe place to live. I'm gonna get to your comments, Maurice, in a second. But that woman just said everyone deserves a safe place to live. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. People, let me tell you something. Like I told y'all the other day, that those trees outside my house do more for this earth than me. So what makes me so special? What makes me more important than those trees outside my house? It is amazing to listen to people fall short in life and come up with these intricate narratives as to what's important or what's not important, or values and less value. We are all here for one purpose and one purpose only. That is to ensure the continuity of our species. According to life, I gave birth. I fathered one child. I am technically a failure at doing my job. I am a failure. Out of all my sperm cells, I only produced one life. So I am a failure at ensuring the continuity of our species. But all the trinkets and everything, you can live out in the woods. Everything else that in between there means nothing. It is amazing to listen to these people come up with all these narratives and perspectives on, she said it was greed, it was this, it was that. Listen, I listened to my ex-girlfriend and she talked about opportunists and Elon Musk and all these rich people. Yes, yes, yes. The more you talk, the less action you do. People that, it's a known fact, people that do most action do the less talking. We all woke up today. I woke up today to 19 degrees and it said it felt like 13. Whose job is it to provide heat for my house? Mine. Those are my issues. Provide heat for my house. This house, I'm in Virginia. This house is not insulated for these type of temperatures. So it gets colder. My heating system that works so well in other temperatures, it struggles in these temperatures. So I got to crank it up and I got to do whatever, but that's the issue that I have. I have 7 cars. I have insurance. I have full coverage insurance on all my cars. It costs me $980 a month. My insurance is $980 a month. My insurance for all my cars. That is nobody's problem but mine. People keep saying, oh, I would try a different insurance company. I'm good. If I had a wife, that would be her job. If I had a wife in my life, that would be her job to say, baby, I saved you $345. I don't have that. I'm not price chasing. I'm not built like that. I'm just going to pay it. And if I get rid of a car, of course, I'm going to call them up. Hey, guess what? Take that car off the policy. But that's my problem. That's my problem. It is amazing to listen to people that don't want to do nothing in life, know and can carefully articulate how the problem is above their ability to face it at full value. So they come up with all these narratives as to why the problem exists and how they can't conquer it. I'm conquering every problem in my life. Let me tell you something. In the words of Foreign Marshal Bill, listen, my BMW 850 has 2 batteries in it. And every year, guess what I did, because I don't drive it as much. I don't drive none of my cars as much because I got so many. Every year, I would put 2 brand new batteries in the car. I would pay $700 a month to put 2 brand new batteries in the car. Every year, the batteries would go dead. They ain't going dead now. You know why? I went to Harbor Freight and I got 2. I got 4, but 2 is for that car. I got 2 of those solar panels. I got the 100-watt solar panels. I didn't do those little, the little 5-watt ones you stick in the window because it didn't work. I got 2 100-watt solar panels hooked up to my batteries in my 850. That mug never goes dead. Never goes dead. Haven't gone dead now in a year and a half, right? That's how I conquered the problem. People, let me tell you something. You can get an apartment in Thailand for $250. Move. You can get an apartment. You can get an apartment overseas and you can get a house in Italy for $10,000. What's going on, Certified King? Say he's in here. Samurai's in here. Colin says hi. What's going on, Vanessa? Claire and then I got my man Maurice is in here. Maurice says Maurice said, what happened to the strong independent? Yeah, listen. There's a scene in Avengers, and it's the scene where Loki is talking to one of the Chitauri, the leader of the Chitauri, and Loki said, until I have your army at my disposal, you are but words. Yeah. Loki told this dude, these are nothing but words. Words do not fight words do nothing against the economy. Very well said. Certified said Trump 2025. He's here. Oh, he's here. He's here. Martin said, I got away from my sisters because I seen it coming. Of course you did. As I just stated, women will go through an entire lifetime and will not assess their situation. A man will have his life assessed and know exactly where he stands, how he fit in, etc., by the time he leaves his 20s. By the time a man leaves his 20s, he knows his strength, weaknesses, where he needs to gas up on, where he needs to throttle back on, etc. A man knows that. Women don't. D. Corey is in here. Hey, D. Corey, I think you gave me a contribution via my Cash App. I don't think I ever thanked you for that. I think that was you. I appreciate it, man. You Cash App cool of you. But D. Corey said, black women will he said, black women would have blamed a waterhead sucker like you if they would have really took TikTok away. Good morning. Yeah. Look at this.
Something that can always happen. Let's see, videos, but skyrocketed. And when I retired in 2019. And yes, I'm 70. I'm retired. My field of work, I worked my whole life, most of my life, not my whole life, of course, but most of it, in computer field and tech, and then in library science. My last few jobs were as a librarian, a digital librarian, and then a librarian in a public library. So, yep, I'm one of those. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. So, yeah, I always made a good income, and I was very grateful for that. But I didn't save enough. Apparently, I'll be...
Okay, I'm looking at the comments. Okay, she didn't say she was a nurse. I thought that was in the title. Under the comment, it says, somebody is saying, I'm a retired nurse, right? Somebody under the comment is saying, I'm a retired nurse. So I'm going to read that. It says, I retired at 68 as a nurse. I was about to retire in 2020, but COVID hit and I couldn't leave my team at the hospital. People, I have a saying. Remember the saying. Never let the person you're going to be tomorrow be mad at the person you are today. Don't do it. Don't do it. Listen, men, I'm talking to the men now. Men always have a way of making it happen. Men got that energy. Women got that fall back, feel sorry for me going on. A lot of individuals will navigate themselves through life, fall short, and as time goes on, the shorts will get shorter and shorter. I don't blame nobody for nothing that ever happened to me. I don't have a relationship with my daughter. I don't blame Atia LaShawn Bradley for that. I look at things that happen as that's the way it was supposed to happen. I don't look at nothing and say, damn. I don't. I never have. People at 56 years old, I probably prayed for me about 3 times in my life. Every time I prayed for somebody else. I've never prayed for me, but 3 times, about 3 times. I said, Lord, I need you on this one. You know why I never felt the need to pray? I always knew that the Lord had his hands on me. I knew that I was a special kid when I was a kid. I knew I was different. I knew I didn't ever have to worry about nothing. It's why I told y'all the other day, I watch Ancient Aliens. I stopped watching the first 48. I used to love the first 48. I don't know if y'all was here. I used to say the first 48 was a comedy to me. To see people in the interrogation room, to see them on a YouTube channel. Yeah, I kill a nigga. Yeah. And then they're in the interrogation room. I'm going to jail. That was funny to me. But I noticed that when I watched these things, I felt as though I started giving thought to the crimes, and I said, nope, I'm not doing that. I used to watch Mutual of Omaha. I used to love watching videos of the mother cub is out in the wild and she cares for her little cub, but danger lurks. And then something comes out of the thing and grab the cub, and the mother takes off and leave the cub to be eaten. I can't watch that stuff no more. I can't watch none of that no more. What I'm simply saying to y'all is I have became negative sensitive. I can't watch it. I don't want to, when I turn on my TV, I want to watch decent stuff. I want to watch comedy. I don't want to watch that. I have literally blocked all that nonsense out of my life, and I'm glad that I did. Like I said yesterday, love and hip hop, all that nonsense. I don't. I am at one with life, man, and it's amazing. It really is. It really is amazing to see these women navigating themselves around and making a mockery of life. Boy, when life come knocking on the door for a lot of these individuals, it's going to be game over. Listen, I'm going to say it again. 10, 15 years ago, I seen 50 and 60-year-old women in my family retiring. And none of them, and I mean not one, was over $1,000 a month. 98% of them was in the $800 a month for Social Security range. You hear what I just said? 98% of them was in the $800 a month Social Security monthly award range. Y'all running around here now and see these chicks talking about I'm a boss, I'm all these things, I'm you know, ain't that what they do? Ain't that this don't pay. It don't. Life is harsh. Life is going to eat these individuals up. It is. Life going to eat these individuals up. It is amazing. Hey, listen. I'm gonna say this. This is a belief that I have. With me, it all starts with your credit score. If your credit score, if you're in your 40s and 50s and you got a crappy credit score, chances are you're gonna have a really crappy retirement. Bad credit scores are for 20s and 30s. That's it. Bad credit scores shouldn't be 40s and 50s. If you got a bad credit score, I get it. 20s and 30s. Yep, I get it. Not knocking you, completely understand. But if you're taking bad credit into your retirement age, give me a second. You got crappy credit. You're a crappy credit haver. If you're a crappy credit haver, boy, I feel sorry for you. I do. Listen. I will tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys why things are so funny to me. Things are so funny to me because I was the nerd. I was the guy that always thought about life. You should live a little. I was always told you should live a little. I was always told stop being so serious about everything. Now, stop being so serious about everything. I got a $754 mortgage. I live on a quiet, beautiful street. I showed y'all outside of my house. I've done well in life. I'm trying to tell people by the end of this year, I'm gonna have an apartment in Bangkok. I'm gonna have an apartment somewhere overseas. I'm gonna be chilling. Yeah. That's the plan. And I'm just looking at individuals like, it won't be your boy. It won't. I'm gonna turn my dog into my dog is gonna be one of those service dogs, and we're gonna be on a plane together, chilling out, me and my doggy. Where are you going, sir? Oh, I'm going to my apartment in Bangkok. I'm gonna be chilling. No sir. It ain't happening. And whatever I do, I said to myself, if when I was gonna move to Panama, definitely move to Panama, I was like, well, I guess I got to get rid of all my cars. And I was like, you know what? I can have an apartment here and there. And I'm like, I could always use this property for storage. Yeah, I just keep my cars and just keep them here. But that's my life. And to me, it is absolutely amazing to see people that don't have a plan. Big Chris says, good morning, my man. I like what my man said. My man D. Corey said. He said a boss chick is an employer of disappointment. Very well said. Very well said. Very well said.
Obviously. And it's, I do take some personal responsibility for my situation, but some of it, and all of us, it's out of our control. World events have allowed, greed to, in some cases, to take over, or in some cases...
She said greed. She said greed.
I don't know what.
She said greed. Really? She said greed. This woman said, This woman said, she said, world events has allowed greed to take over. So at 70 years old, check this out. The woman is 70 years old. I messed around and turned the phone off. The woman is 70 years old. And she said, world events has allowed greed to take over. World events has allowed greed to take over. People, I'm going to tell you something. It's called inflation. That's what it's called. You can tuck it up under greed if you want to, but that's a woman. So as a woman, they always going to come up with a perspective that's below the standards of logic. They're going to come up with these perspectives and say,
I want to say thank you.
Greed.
I am so moved and touched by your response.
She's moved.
To my last video and to my videos. Thank you so much and welcome to new subscribers.
She's 70 years old. She's 70 years
That
old.
was like 1,030. And it's because of all of you. Thank you. Before another minute goes by, I wanted to thank you so much. Well, the RTRs are over. And I'm here at my favorite spot again, the park. And there's a lot of people here. Actually, I'm in the dog park. Yeah, I like it. Like I said before.
Let me go left for a second. I was watching a video the other day. I was watching a video about when COVID hit, and the video was talking about how people were taking advantage of not paying their mortgage. I brought this house, and I could never dream. I don't care if they said this year is national don't pay your mortgage year. Don't worry about it. There's full conclusion on the other end of the 12 months. I will never not pay my mortgage. But there are individuals that took advantage of not paying their mortgage. So in the event of not paying their mortgage, I looked at one individual that they brought the house for $420,000. The house was now worth $600,000 because they took the COVID. You don't have to pay your mortgage nonsense. They got bad credit. Now the forbearance and all that comes knocking on the door a year later. Let's just say it was a year, but they went a year and didn't pay their mortgage. So they're like, oh, well, we got equity in our house. Of course you got equity in your house. But you went a year and didn't pay your mortgage. So you honestly think somebody's going to look at you not making a year's worth of payments and say, I'll give you a loan? No. They're going to look at the fact you didn't pay your mortgage for a year and say, because there's no excuse. The mortgage company that lent me the money to buy this house, I'm going to do right by them and say, hey, man, appreciate you guys loaning me this money. Hey, man, here's your money every month. Here's your money. I'm going to give you your money. But there's a lot of individuals that said, let's just say their mortgage was $1,000 and nobody's was, but let's just say $1,000. They went 12 months and didn't pay their mortgage. So they owe $12,000. Well, on that $12,000, they earned an additional $6,500 in interest. And then, so that was one thing. Then the $12,000 payments that they didn't make, that $12,000 is due now. All 12 of those payments is due now. That's the second strike. And then the third strike is because you didn't make payments, you can't get a mortgage. So they were saying all the people that in the COVID that did not make their mortgage payments are now losing their homes. And they got tons of equity in their house. They got tons of equity. I got over $100,000 equity in this house. And I've only owned it 5 years. And I can tap into it. Matter of fact, when it was at 70, I was going to get it until the dude told me my mortgage was going to go up to $100,000, $1,400. I was like, whoa. He was like, you can't use, man, go and keep that money. I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep this. Listen, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking no equity out my house. I'm good. But the 3 strikes that you get, all those people that got the 3 strikes they got for not paying a mortgage is the balance is due up. All that money, them payments due up front, and they can't afford it. They went a year or so and didn't pay their mortgage, so they can't refinance because ain't nobody touching them. And then the interest that they got. So their only option is to sell their house. And do you honestly think they're going to get another mortgage? They're not going to get a mortgage. These are things that we go through in life. So for people to say things like unforeseen circumstances, it's called inflation. You can tuck the economy, you can tuck economic growth, you can tuck the economical times, whether it's upwards or downwards, you can credit it all to inflation. We live in it, we're going to experience it, we're going to understand it. There's no one that's exempt from it. And it's just amazing to see these chicks running around here making all these claims as to how I'm a bad B, I'm all these things, and ain't putting nothing in the pot when it comes to retirement. When life comes knocking at that door, I feel sorry for them. So I'm gonna break something down to y'all like this. Every woman that I know that played and had their ass out in the streets, every woman that I know that had their ass out in the streets, these individuals now want to get married. Oh, they know how to act right. My ex-girlfriend, oh, she lives with some dude, and just to tell you just how much the whore is in her, there's still the whore. She's still a whore. She said, we ain't having no ring cameras or nothing of that at the house. I said, of course you're not, because you want to bring somebody up in the house and give them that old fat bloated ass now. Of course you do. You want to have somebody to come. You want to be able to sneak dudes up in the house and let them bang on you and not let them know it. And then as soon as somebody give you an offer, you're going to dump him and go with them. It's just amazing. All of these old creatures, they want to get married now. They want to get married. I had one, all she did was bang nothing but married men. All of the 30 years that I've known her, all she did was date married men. That was it. Married men. That's all she dated was married men. Under the context of, don't nobody want to get married. Now, 3 different times over 4 years, she asked, when are we getting married? All of these creatures want to get married now. All of them. All of these creatures are running around here claiming that, oh, the marriage is the thing now. When they was young, they kept their out in the streets. They were nothing but hot asses. That woman, at least that woman that I showed y'all the video, she didn't say, she always worked. So if she always worked and ended up living in her car, could you imagine what's waiting for all these boss chicks? Listen, let me tell you something about inflation. It's growing quicker than in all these programs. It is. Inflation is growing quicker than all these programs. You know what I mean? Inflation is growing quicker than all these programs. Inflation is growing quicker than any type of Section 8 program voucher. Inflation is growing bigger and quicker than that. All these individuals, all these women that's walking around here claiming that the backup plan is some type of government assistance or the backup plan is some type of program. All of these individuals going to understand that you're going to mess around. You're going to mess around and end up. You're going to mess around and end up. Hold on. All these individuals gonna mess around here, and they're not. None of these programs is gonna be able to help them. Why? Because they don't understand economics. They don't. They choose not to understand economics. It is amazing to hear these Negroes, these female Negroes, with their perspective and narrative. And all these programs are going to ditch them. All of them. All of them. All of them. All of them. I looked at one report. It said in 10 years, homelessness amongst black women it's going to triple. Yep. 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 Homelessness amongst these creatures are going to triple. Yes, it is. Yes. Yes. They want to run around here and life is a game. Oh, I'm grown. I can do what I want. Yeah, you could. Here's the problem with your perspective and narrative. Life is going to come knocking at your door and life ain't going to want to hear it. I'm going to end it with this. I used to want a wife. I know, don't unsubscribe. I used to want a wife. I don't want no wife right now. I don't. I don't so much as want a girlfriend. I don't want nobody. I love my life. I now see how people see me, and it's like, yeah. When I brought my X3, last year I brought the Z4 roast hardtop convertible, and I brought the X3. So last year I had 4 BMWs when the year started. I ended the year with 6. When I realized that I was making a substantial amount of money, like I don't brag about how much money I make. I brag about how much money I save. I'm a save-aholic. You heard the lady, I don't know if you heard her, she said, I didn't save. I save more money than I spend, and I say I'm a saver. I'm a saver. Okay, let me just say that. So last year when I realized that I was saving so much money, I was like, you know what? I'm getting older. Let me, you know, the Nissan Leaf is cool for an everyday car, but let me get a BMW for an everyday car. So I brought the X3. I brought the X3. So I brought the X3. And you know the amazing thing that happened when I brought the X3? First of all, when I brought the Z4, an individual was like, dang, man, you brought another car? I realized the hate. But then when I brought the X3, so I didn't tell nobody, but I told my ex-girlfriend, I said, yeah, I went and picked up this X3 today. Oh, the BMW? Yeah. And then 2 days later, she said, how much did they give you for the Nissan? I said, what do you mean? She said, did you trade the Nissan in? I said, no, it's outside. And it was a silence on the phone. And it was a silence on that phone that I realized that she said to herself, damn, this is a bad motherfucker I'm on the phone with. Yeah. Big Chris said, I'm going to read Big Chris' comment before I get out of here. I'm going to read D. Corey's as well. Big Chris said, 2025, older men who are financially established aren't jumping back into the dating pool. There's nothing but dookie in there. Very well said. No thanks. D. Corey says, I'm getting married September of next year. No comment. No comment, brother. I got the second gen. I got the 2016. If you rented the new one, they tried to recreate lightning in a bottle. they tried to create lightning in the bottle with the new Z4, but that mug is garbage. There's mine right there. All right, can you see it? Hold on. I'll show you. Oh, I don't think I can turn the camera around. Yeah. There go mine right there. That's the X3, the black X3, and that's my Z4 right there. Yeah, so I got the 2016 model. That's the one I got. So, yeah, that's what it gets down to. So, hey, man, I'll be back here tomorrow at 10. I'm trying to put this thing together to get my live stream in the evening, but I got so much stuff going on. I gotta get things with the secretary so we can get my evenings free so I can make that happen. But until then, man, I'll be here every morning, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. I'll catch you guys on the next one.